moving on to Pat McAfee is a main eventer now.
Oh, I can't wait.
Is he?
I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Why is he not? Explain to me why he's not. He just won 20 minutes with Gunther.
I knew you were going to make
Walter.
He did one backflip.
Walter.
And
20 minutes.
And am I missing something? Brian, am I missing something?
This is
no, you're not missing it. You're not missing anything at all. Matter of fact, Dan, why don't you go ahead and explain?
Let's let Dan explain the reason why he picked Pat McAfee to beat Gunther in this match.
No, because as a matter of fact, Lewis, just a disclosure. Now, late Saturday night into Sunday morning, after Dan finished watching it, he said he was going to have some thoughts in regards to this match. So, do you need a solo shot? Do you need a couple minutes to yourself? Do you need anything?
Do I need a solo?
Do you need a solo to talk about this match?
No, yeah, let's go to a solo shot.
you need a solo to talk about this match?
Pat McAfee is a ring announcer. Let alone.
So is Wade Barrett.
Let alone a former NFL punter. Not a defensive lineman, not a linebacker, a punter. Is he athletic in some regard? Yes. But this is Gunther, who we've built up for the past, 3 years? 666 Intercontinental title reign, World Heavyweight Champion. The guy who just main evented WrestleMania with Jey Uso. And he goes 20 minutes. 20 minutes with Pat McAfee. Move out the way, Logan Paul. Move out the way, Seth Rollins. Pat McAfee, you are the number one contender for the WWE Championship. World Heavyweight Championship. Pat McAfee, you need to stop sitting behind the desk and you need to go start challenging Jey Uso. Stop doing the yeets. Stop doing that. You just showed that you can be a World Heavyweight Champion contender. You just went 20 minutes with the guy, the man in wrestling, the measuring stick, Gunther.
All right, Dan.
No. By WWE logic, if you can hang with that guy, you can hang with anybody. So therefore, Gunther should be World Heavyweight Champion. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right, Lewis, do you mind if I go next?
Yes.
Whoa, let me just say this. He looked way more impressive than Jey Uso. He looked way more impressive. Let's just put Pat McAfee to the moon.
Brian, go before I spaz.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Let me just get an official.
We talk. When we talk about professional wrestling,
minutes with Gunther.
When we talk about professional wrestling, sometimes we always talk about psychology, right? So let me see if I can psychologically break this down. Okay. I don't know if you guys paid attention to Gunther's entrance when he walked in. Something as simple as that. Now, typically when Gunther comes out and he walks to the ring, he looks stoic. He just looks serious, and he just walks to the ring as normal, right? This time for this match, he's walking. He's got a big smile on his face. He's doing this, almost as if to say, like, I'm gonna torture this guy. Like, I'm gonna beat the living shit out of this guy. He wasn't going in. Psychologically, he wasn't going into this match going for a quick 1, 2, 3 or a quick 3-minute match. He wanted to torture Pat McAfee. He wanted to beat the living crap out of him. He wanted to really show him that, like, yo, you're an announcer. This is my world. And if you pay attention to the match, the very limited times that Pat McAfee had momentum, Gunther immediately cut it off. Like, I remember there was one sequence where, like, Pat kicked Gunther like 3 times, and then he went for a pin. And then Gunther kicked out at one. I think that's the only time during the match where Pat McAfee had any momentum. And then we get to the end. The only thing that I will critique is at the very end, after he choked them out, the fact that Pat McAfee was standing up after and they had the face-to-face. Only because when initially they did the whole segment on Raw when he attacked Gunther, when Gunther went after Michael Cole, and then Gunther put him in the chokehold afterwards and choked him out. Literally, they were helping him to the back. He's coughing, he's holding his throat, and doing all this extra stuff. So I felt like consistency-wise, that didn't line up. But as far as the actual match goes, psychologically, Gunther wasn't going into that match to win a 2 or 3 minute match and just fold Pat McAfee. Like I said,
psychologically,
he wanted to torture the shit out of him. That's the because he knew he was going to win. He knew who's in front of him. He literally, you want to get technical. Gunther was playing with him the entire match. He really wanted to get technical.
He just got a 15-minute beatdown from a former world champion who is the top-notch and peak condition of his career. And after a sleeper move that he took out mainly the whole anybody who went up in front of him, Pat McAfee is standing right across from him after all of that. Pat McAfee.
That's the only negative you could take from it. Just that end of match sequence. Just because of what
you want to know what sent Gunther to velocity. I'm sick of him too. What do you mean?
Oh my God. Get this man out of here. All right.
Gunther does not look any worse.
Pat McAfee is a main eventer now.
Gunther does not look any worse as a result of this match.
He looks terrible.
No, he does not. What are you talking about?
Again, I said this match had to end in a disqualification because Gunther would beat the hell out of Pat McAfee to a bloody pulp. Or at least in this WWE era, if they're going to be soft on blood, at least beat him to a pulp where he couldn't fight back and defend himself. That's what it should have been.
Oh, even on top of that, throughout the match, how many times was Michael Cole screaming through commentary, "Yo, just end it, just end it, just end it, just end it"? Like literally,
Michael Cole does that every big match.
This is where you're wrong. Because when going into this match, Michael Cole even said this is the first time in his career that he was going to be biased as shit towards Pat McAfee. So when he's literally telling him, "Yo, bro, just end the match, just end it. You already got him down, just end it." And Gunther's just smiling at him, putting his hands like, "Nah, I'm gonna fuck him up." So I don't think it makes Gunther look any worse. I mean, like I said, because psychologically he wasn't going into that match to win in 2 minutes.
The move, back to my original point at the start of the show. What is a finisher? What is a finisher?
All right. I need to speak on this tomfoolery. This man,
the tomfoolery of the match.
This tomfoolery you're making, that because this man had a match against Gunther and lasted 20 minutes, that he should now be world heavyweight champion instead of Jey Uso.
He should be in the main event.
Kidding me?
He should be in the main event.
No, he should not.
It should be a triple threat. It should be a triple threat match with Jey Uso.
You know what his finisher was in NXT? Was his punt. And this man gave Gunther the punt, and he kicked out and won. Come on. This is
the equivalent of Jerry the King Lawler doing the fist drop off the second rope.
No,
it's not going to win a match.
He was never a threat to begin with.
Oh, so would you prefer that Gunther had kicked out with no count at all?
I would have preferred Gunther to slaughter this man.
And he did. Come on now. What fight did Pat McAfee actually really put up against Gunther?
A more valiant effort than he
showed.
No,
he did not. No, he did not. He chopped the hell out of him multiple times. This man was crawling around the ring. Yeah, like Brian said, he had those little spots of momentum, and it did nothing. And then you got Michael Cole over here, being his little sidekick and be like, "Come on, Pat, you can do it." Or just being like, "Oh, just end the match." You're toying with him, which he did. He gave him a power bomb. He was choking him out. He was doing all this stuff. He was toying with him. There was no reason why we even consider Pat McAfee winning this match. Do you know Gunther would be sent down to Velocity if Pat McAfee won this damn match?
I wanted him to win by how he would have won, by disqualification. That is how I wanted it.
Why?
That is how it should have been.
Why?
Because it would have showed how of a mean streak Gunther has after losing the title.
But he can.
I'm just gonna say this again to you, Lewis. I'm just gonna say this again to you. Pat McAfee was standing after the match.
Like I said, that's the only negative you can take from the entire match. It's just the fact that he was.
I disagree.
And again, but also like you just said, he is an announcer. He probably just got up because he thought that's what he was just. I'm just gonna get up.
Okay, get his respect. Remember Steve-O when they had the guest GMs and they were getting his ass up and he wouldn't stay down?
Well, that's because at the end they actually had to hurt him to make him stay down.
I mean,
like for real. Remember Umaga splashing them nonstop?
I mean, that is Steve-O though. So
exactly.
that's
what we're comparing now.
And this is Pat McAfee.
Oh my god! And again, Gunther, he needed a win, especially after WrestleMania.
Just Pat McAfee gives him that feather in his cap.
Well, you can already see on Raw they're already moving on to his rematch. So realistically, did he get hurt? So they're already booked Jay and Gunther. What was it, 4 now?
I'm disgusted by the two of you.
No, you need to put some respect on Jey Uso and stop praising Pat McAfee like was the best thing to come out of this damn match just because he got up after the submission.
Whoa! Last time I checked, Jey Uso wasn't on the card.
Last time I checked, Jey Uso is still the champion.
He didn't defend it.
Oh, come on, man.
Of course he's still the champion. He won it at WrestleMania. Yeah.
All right.
I'm sick of you guys. You guys.
So you're telling me it should have been Pat McAfee versus Jey Uso then for the title?
It should be Gunther versus Jey Uso versus Pat McAfee.
Oh my god! Okay,
throw Logan Paul in there too.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. I'm just saying. An announcer went 15 minutes with the former world champion.
He didn't, though. He got chopped around. How was that going? He barely put up a fight. He had one section where he had some momentum, and it was over.
Triple H and The Rock. I'm not liking the booking. Gunther looks weak. I'm sorry.
I know this. Again, this match should have never happened in the first place.
It shouldn't have.
Exactly. I did not want.
Okay, let me ask a question. How did Gunther look weak if within that match he never got a 2 count? Pat McAfee.
You wonder how he looks weak? Because it took 15 minutes to defeat somebody who's sitting behind a desk.
Again, how many matches were on this damn card?
And
I don't give a damn about that.
Again, so obviously they got to fill time. It wasn't going to be a squash match. It was a long squash match.
It should have just been a squash match. It should have been a devastating squash match. And it wasn't.
Look at how
let
many
alone
cards.
Pat McAfee standing, and then he's on Raw the next night behind the desk.
He's not a consistent wrestler.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I grew up in the day and age when you had broken ribs in the ring and you got hit in the ribs and stuff like that. You came out with your ribs taped up.
Again, he's not a full-time wrestler. Dan.
I mean, McAfee, honestly, if he got the beatdown that he should have gotten, he shouldn't have even been on Raw.
He got a master class on how to sell so fast in a matter of 2 weeks.
I mean, they did kind of allude to it because initially he wasn't out there to start the show. Like the first segment happened, and then he came out after, and then they told the story of how he was back.
15 minutes.
He was back with medical.
That's the only beating that Gunther put on Pat McAfee. 15-minute beatdown. That's an absence on Raw. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah, no.
We grew up in the era of DDP. We grew up in the era of DDP with broken ribs with bandages around
and we also grew up in the era of one finisher ends all, and look at where we're at now.
Yeah, everything.
I mean, at least when the one finisher was on professional wrestlers, not an announcer. Just saying.
Okay, all right, let me ask one more question before we move on. At any point during that match, did you even think that Pat McAfee had a chance? Because there been plenty of matches of this nature, but there was a sequence. There was a sequence where you thought.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there because they did have Michael Cole helping him. I'm not saying he would have won, but again, I thought he would have won by disqualification. So if you're asking me on that question, yes.
How could you thought Pat McAfee was going to win via disqualification?
Yes, that was the loophole that I threw in my decision because I thought Gunther would have beaten him down so bad that he wouldn't have stopped, and the referee would have disqualified Gunther. That was my logic.
If anything,
because you're supposed to make a heel.
You know what he could have done? You know what he could have done more is probably when he hits the power bomb and he goes to cover him, and then he picks him up and he's like, "Nope, not yet." That probably would have been better.
Oh, because you want to know why? Because it's just an announcer, Pat McAfee. you know.
But again, like you just said, you also act like he's the size of Michael.
I don't
Cole.
want to see a Gunther
like
match end under any Gunther match going forward should not end under 15 minutes. I don't care if it's on Raw.
What
I don't care if it's on
damn
Saturday Night. I don't care. If he beats anybody in 5 minutes, I'm gonna be like, Pat McAfee did a better job than him. Just saying.
Stop it.
I'm just saying. You guys are letting this off the hook.
No.
Because you guys are just thinking of it as a throwaway.
You're acting like this man was so close to winning this match.
It's not about winning the match. It's about how it's won. That's number one. Number
and
two,
he did his job. He tapped him out and he beat the crap out of him. Did he not?
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did.
He did exactly what he's supposed to do.
We've been watching wrestling for all our lives, and we have seen better beatdowns of people than this.
Okay, but at the same time, Pat McAfee is not your normal announcer where he's like a Michael Cole. He's
a punter, former punter. He's decade removed from being a punter.
Look at his stature.
And he's an athlete. Yeah.
He's not a small man. He's not 5'6", 5'7". The man's like 6'3", 6'2".
If Gunther faces Braun Breaker again at any point in time and he loses under 15 minutes, we're gonna revisit this. I'm just saying.
What if he gets screwed? So you're just gonna say that every time now?
I'm just saying. I'm so disappointed in you guys.
You're alluding that this man survived, and that makes him so much better than everybody else now.
He shouldn't even be standing. He shouldn't even be coherent. He should have been off Raw.
Let's move on. Gunther won with a roll up or something.
He might as well. I'm so disappointed in you guys. I'm so disgusted.
Like he stole the victory. Like
I'm gonna tag Pat McAfee in this. Hopefully he responds. He
needs to explain. Why need to talk to Pat McAfee? This whole thing is getting clipped out. No,
we need to tag. I need to tag Pat McAfee. Yeah. Pat McAfee, if you were listening, we need you on the show. We need some type of explanation. You're being held back. Can I be your manager, Pat McAfee? You are being held down by the establishment. You should not be sitting behind the desk.
He's gonna be a Daniel Daly guy.
Yes. And we're going to get him to the top. That's what we're going to do. Because
he's going to make deals. He's going to get him all the championship matches he wants for every title. Pat
McAfee should turn heel after this. He should become a cocky guy. Yes, he should. This is ridiculous.
Well, he was a heel in NXT, which actually was pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
He was.
I'm just sick of you guys. I'm sick of you guys. I can't believe you guys. I can't believe you guys. You guys are co-signing Pat McAfee.
You're co-signing Pat McAfee. What
you're co-signing. I mean, first of all, you're the one that picked him. So first,
whoa! To win by disqualification.
Yeah. No, you said to win, to beat. You never.
Yes, I did. I said by disqualification, he was going to win the match.
Brian, let's run the tape. Let's see
Honestly, that might be next week's Throwback Tuesday post.
Let's see if he actually said it.
I can't believe you guys. You guys disgust me.